Hello everyone! In the previous videos, we learned how to import Excel data by using custom mapping. Now in this session, we will learn how to import Excel data by using default mapping. Default mapping import functionalities allows users to import data into Onfinity using predefined mapping rules. The system automatically matches Excel columns with the correct fields, so no manual setup is needed. This makes the import process faster, easier, and consistent. On every screen, we have the option to use the default mapping during import. First, we simply download the default Excel template provided by the system. After that, we enter all the required data into the sheet and upload it back into Onfinity system. So this system automatically maps the fields and completes import without any manual configurations. The next one is Save As feature for default mapping. The Save As feature allows us to save our customized version of the default mapping. This means that if we make any changes to the mapping, we can save it and reuse it for future imports, which makes the process faster and more consistent. Now log into the Onfinity ERP using admin credentials. Next, go to the menu and search for the Customer Master Screen window. We will use the same screen here as well for the import, so that it becomes easier for you to understand how to use the default mapping on this screen. Because the Excel import utility works in the same way, for every screen we simply need to upload the Excel sheet using the required columns for the specific screen where we want to import the data. Nothing changes. The process remains exactly same across all screens. Now open this screen. Screen is open. Move to the right side action panel. Here you will see the import map icon is visible. We will now use this Excel import utility. Excel import utility is now open. Under the Select Mapping from the drop-down, you will notice the default mapping option is already available for this screen, just like it is for every Import Enable screen in the system. Before selecting any mapping from the drop-down, you will notice that the Download and Upload buttons are disabled. Now, as soon as we select the default mapping, both these buttons become active. Let's go ahead and click on the Download button. Once we click the Download button, the Excel file starts downloading. Now let's go to the Downloads. Open the Excel sheet. Every time we use the Excel import utility, we must use the default mapping Excel format provided for that specific screen. This means we need to download that default Excel file and enter our data into the same format, then use it for the Excel import process. This Excel file is a template for the default mapping format. At the top, you will see the first row is frozen, so the headers remain visible while scrolling. You can also notice that the Header tab and its Style tab are highlighted with different colors, making it easy to identify and understand the structure of the data. As you can see, the header rows show in a darker color. Just below the Child tab fields appear in a lighter shade. These color differences help us easily understand the hierarchy and structure within the sheet. In this default Excel sheet, each field is displayed in the Format tab name .field name. Since this file is for Customer Master Screen, you will find entries such as customer.organization, customer.customer code, customer.active, customer.name. Here, customer is the tab name, and organization customer code, active, and name are the field names under that tab. Now let's look at the second row of the sheet. This row contains important instruction for the fields and columns. Here you can see details like identify columns, Boolean columns, list values for drop-down fields, and the required date formats. All these instructions are provided in the second row to help us enter the data correctly. Now let's understand how fields like organization/organization.name represented in the sheet. This format follows the structure of the system. First, the table or window name, then the tab name, and finally the field name. So here, organization is the window name. The next organization is the tab name, and name is the actual field name. Apart from this, you will also notice that Boolean columns appear in the drop-down values, allowing us to select options like yes or no, or true or false. Here, if we look at the active field, you can see that we can click on it. Drop-down shows Y and N as the available list value. Similarly, other fields have the drop-down option. For example, we can take credit status column. You will notice an instruction that says Select List option, and from here, we can choose the correct value. The same applies to the credit validation. The list options are also shown in the drop-down. Apart from these list values, the sheet also provides date format instruction, which is clearly mentioned as MMDDYY. So now we enter all dates in this format. Let's come enter the data into this Excel sheet. Basically, we already prepared our Excel sheet with the screen data. Here, apart from these, if there are any mandatory fields required for the customer screen, they will be indicated with the red star in the instruction section. See here? Make sure to fill in all those mandatory fields before proceeding. Next is the credit limit. Enter the credit limit value here, and then select the appropriate credit status from the drop-down. After this, move to the Location tab. Here, I will also explain how the default mapping works for the multiple tabs, like the Location tab. In this tab, you can enter the following details: address field, city name, region. After once all the required data is entered, save this Excel sheet. Now come back to the system. Here, upload the saved Excel file sheet. Once the file is uploaded, the system will load the Excel data on the left-hand side, where all the Excel column will be visible. On the right side, you will see the default mappings that are already created by the system. Here we mark as customer checkbox as true by default. This ensures that imported record will be displayed on the customer master screen. After completing the mapping, click on the Import button to start importing the data. The import process will begin and complete within a few seconds. In the log section, you can see the detailed result of the import. It shows message like, new location is saved, data inserted into the CB partner table, data inserted into the CB partner location table. Since the import was successful, there are no error display. If you check the Error Log tab, it will also show no error entries, confirming that import has been completed successfully. Here you can see that the download icon and upload button are enabled. If you need to make corrections in the Excel file and upload it again, you can use this option to re-upload the data updated file. Once the data is imported temporarily, you want this data to be committed to the Onfinity system. Then mark Commit after Import checkbox as true, and click on the Import button again, after the final import is started, and then it's completed. Now go to the Customer Master screen. Just refresh the screen. You will see that all the records of the Excel data has been imported successfully with their location details itself. Now go back to the import screen. Apart from this, there is another feature available in the default mapping called Save As. This feature allows you to save the mapping again. If you make any changes to the default mapping, those changes can be saved and stored using the Save As option for future use. Now let's take an example. Suppose we upload the default mapping Excel again. After uploading the file, go back to the Mapping tab. If we want to remove any mapping, let's say we can remove Sales Region column mapping. Simply click the Close icon button next to that field. Once you remove it, the Sales Region mapping disappears from the mapping. Since we no longer want this Sales Region field to be included in the Customer Master import, now we can click on the Save Mapping button. A pop-up will appear asking for the mapping name. Enter a new name, let's say for example New, and click on the Save button. The import mapping is successfully saved, and now it will now appear at the top of the list in the Select Mapping drop-down as Default Mapping New. Next, upload the Excel file again. See here, Sales Region column is no longer mapped and not showing over here because we removed it earlier. Click the Import button. All the mappings will be applied, and we can again mark one thing more. Mark as Customer as True, so that this result will appear on the Customer Master screen. Now click Mark Commit after Import as True, so that data will appear on the Onfinity system, just like before the Excel file is started. Imported. Now import is done successfully. Go back to the Customer Master screen. Refresh the screen. See, Sales Region field show empty, because we already remove its mapping from the import screen, so that's why data will not update here. So in this way, we can import data into the Onfinity system by using the Excel import utility methods, that is custom mapping and default mapping. That is all for this video. Thank you.